What is up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Mr. Everything here, and today in this video we are gonna be talking about the fight that's gonna be happening August 28th. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Now, this fight is honestly pretty tricky one for me because this is the first time Jake Paul is gonna be fighting a real striker in MMA. So yeah, not a real fighter. Well, he is a real fighter. Never mind. But like, you guys have to give Jake Paul like before I go any further. I feel like you guys should like give Jake Paul at least some credit where credit's due, and should give him at least a little bit of respect. Uh, for fighting a fighter, you have to respect him for it because you know, he's this guy. Yeah, he might be 40. Yeah, he might be retired, or yeah, he might be you know, yeah, he might be. But I'm not gonna lie, this guy is a beast when it comes to striking in MMA, man. He's actually a real striker. He's one of the best strikers in MMA. So yeah, you definitely have to give Jake Paul where credit is due. But we're gonna see. So obviously, Jake Paul is 3-0. He's fought Anderson Gibb, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, and he had a fight with Deji, but I mean that one doesn't count since it was head guards. It wasn't really like a professional fight that he had. But yeah, Anderson Gibb, Nate Robinson, and Ben Askren. So yeah, now we're coming in with Tyron Woodley. Now, Jake Paul definitely has power because he knocked out Nate Robinson, and he also knocked down Ben Askren, who's used to be getting kneed in the face, elbowed in the face, punched in the face, kneed, elbowed, bruises on his face, and still was able to stand. So you could see that Jake Paul has a lot of power from that. So yeah, he's definitely capable of knocking out Woodley. Um, though I feel like the thing is though is that when it comes to boxing, I don't know what when it comes to boxing, I don't know what technique Woodley or Jake Paul has, so I don't know who is gonna come into the ring, but I feel like Jake Paul is definitely gonna win because he has number one, he has more experience. Number two, we see in Nate Robinson, he moves like a boxer, trains like a boxer, and we see Tyron Woodley on the pads. Yeah, he looks good, but Jake Paul, he has way more experience, way more technique than him. He has like natural skill, and uh he has natural talent, and he has sorry that my audio kind of cut it. But yeah, he has natural talent, he has natural skill, and like I feel like Jake Paul will beat Tyron Woodley because I feel like his technique will be better, and you could see with the Nate Robinson fight that like Nate could have beat like Nate. You see that his technique. You see the way he knocked out Nate Robinson. Like you could see a clip of him sparring, and he was hitting the punching bag. He was using the same technique, the same moves that he did on Nate Robinson. So you could clearly see that he's become like a textbook boxer at this sport now. And you can see that Jake Paul has an answer for every single move that probably Tyron Woodley will have on him. He'll have an answer for it, and he'll know what he could. He knows what he could do and what he should do. So I definitely think that Jake Paul definitely will beat Tyron Woodley. Although I might be wrong. I mean, Tyron Woodley might have a good technique. But as of now, I think that, and a lot of people are commenting down below, being like, "Oh, but Tyron Woodley, he's being trained by Floyd Mayweather." I mean, like, but Nate Robinson was literally trained by Floyd Mayweather as well. Like, Floyd Mayweather was training Nate Robinson, and yet he got knocked out. Like, so what's the point here? It doesn't matter if you're being trained by one of the best boxers in the world. You you still have the possibilities of losing. I mean, it's a fight; anything could happen. So and I feel like Jake Paul has had way more experience than him, way more um, boxing experience. And I don't think Tyron Woodley will, match up with it. But yeah, um, this fight's gonna be coming out August 28th. But and you know what? I don't like how people are like, oh, Tyron Woodley's a bum. Jake Paul's fighting another bum. Like Jake Paul is not fighting a bum. He's fighting a 40-year-old guy. Like literally, if you were to go back, let's say somebody said, um, with Jake Paul versus Deji. Let's say somebody said, "Oh, Jake Paul in a few years is gonna be fighting Tyron Woodley." Nobody would have believed it. If you go back to 2018 with Jake Paul's fight with Deji, and you said, "Oh, Jake Paul in the next few years he's gonna be, you know, fighting," no one would believe it. No one would even think of that. No, people wouldn't even think that Jake Paul would be fighting a real striker in MMA. And 5 years ago, Jake Paul was literally on YouTube doing doing vines and doing YouTube videos, and Tyron Woodley was literally in MMA. And if you said that in a few years that he was these two were gonna be in the ring with each other, like I would have never believed it. So that's crazy. Like literally, that's crazy. Yeah. So you guys have to give credit where credit's due. Obviously, Jake Paul, his last few fights were with a bunch of bums. Like for example, Ben Askren. Nate Robinson, he was like, his performance was kind of the worst, but like, he looked physically stronger than all of the ones that Jake Paul fought. But yeah, Ben Askren was terrible, and Nate Robinson was terrible. Gib was a little bit good. Everyone thought that Gib was gonna, win against Jake Paul, but he never did. Now with Tyron Woodley, I feel like everyone's like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of in the middle. Some people are like, "Oh, Tyron Woodley's gonna win because he's a real striker, and he's one of the best strikers in MMA." Some people are like, "Oh, well, no, because Jake Paul, it's gonna be another easy win for Jake Paul because you know, Ty, Tyron Woodley is 40 years old and he doesn't know how to box and this and that and this and that." To me, but I definitely will tell you this: Jake Paul is not gonna knock him out in the first few rounds, like he said he is. I think that this fight is definitely not gonna be Jake Paul is definitely not gonna knock out Tyron Woodley in the first few rounds. I feel like, or maybe he will, but like I feel like this fight, I hope that this fight, like, if Jake Paul knocks him out in the few rounds and the ref does, like, if he like knocks him down and like he's still like the Tyron Woodley is still conscious and gets back up and the referee doesn't let him, like, go again. To me, that's kind of weird because that's what happened with Ben Askren. If the same situation happens, just like the one with Ben Askren, I feel like that fight would be rigged or something would be up. But I feel like if Tyron Woodley, like if he makes it to like the sixth round or like the fifth round, I feel like in in to put it in short words, I feel like this is gonna be Jake Paul's most hardest fight ever. Besides Deji, besides Gabe, besides Nate Robinson, besides Innocent Gabe, Deji, besides Ben Askren. I feel like this is gonna be Jake Paul's um hardest fight. So yeah, I don't know. Tyron Woodley is a real striker. To put it into view, if you guys don't know who Tyron Woodley is, it's a real striker, a really good striker in MMA, which is essential for boxing. So that means he has a lot of power, and I'm not gonna lie, uh, Tyron Woodley is also capable of knocking out Jake Paul, but I feel like uh, Tyron Woodley does not really have a technique. We don't really know Tyron Woodley's technique, so we can't really judge of what he has to offer. We know Jake's technique because Jake, when he fought Nate Robinson, we saw that he had like a answer for everything. Like Nate Robinson would like, and Nate Robinson could have won if Jake was like, still at, let's say 2018, Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. I think Jake Paul would get knocked out. Really, I'm not gonna lie. If you put Jake Paul's level in 2018 and put him with Nate Robinson, I feel like Nate Robinson would win. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to break it to you, but yeah, but that's something that Nate was missing. He was missing his technique. And it's not like he was not. If you see Nate, he was doing good. He was moving good. He was like, you know, hitting his jabs, but his technique was just slow, man. His technique was terrible. His technique was terrible. He got knocked out in the second round. But yeah. Anyway, enough talking. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Uh, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow all my social medias. Links will be in the description box down below. Make sure to turn those post notifications on so that you can receive every one of my videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.